Superman 1 million. Superman 1 million lived inside the sun for 15,000 years, just to recharge, not metaphorically. Literally inside the sun, absorbing solar energy until he became something beyond Kryptonian. Born from the direct lineage of Kal-El, this version hails from the 853rd century, where the Justice League has become a cosmic pantheon and Earth's legacy stretches across galaxies. He returned with near omnipotence, reality manipulation, time travel, super-evolved senses, and the power to resurrect the dead. He can hear prayers from across the universe. He even holds back black holes with a thought. In DC 1 million, when Vandal Savage and Solaris the Tyrant's son launched a full-scale attack on Earth, Superman 1 million crushed them effortlessly. This version isn't faster, stronger, or smarter. He's transcendent. He can phase through dimensions. He operates on a cosmic timescale. His body is so charged with solar power that he forged a miniature universe inside his Fortress of Solitude. And he doesn't even age, thanks to 15 millennia of pure solar regeneration. The original Superman had limits. Superman 1 million rewrote what it meant to be Kryptonian. No other Superman, not Prime, Red Sun, or Kingdom Come, ever touched this level of godhood. His existence represents the far edge of evolution, legacy, and patience. And the craziest part? He only came back because the universe needed him one more time. After that, he went back into the sun. No other version of Superman in 80+ years of publishing ever reached this scale. Superman 1 million is power set maxed, timeline stretched, and divinity achieved, all in one golden suit. White Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner did what no other Lantern ever could. He mastered every color on the emotional spectrum, not just green for willpower. He wielded rage, fear, love, compassion, hope, and greed, all at once. After that, he ascended into something else entirely, the White Lantern, the embodiment of life itself. This transformation wasn't symbolic. As a White Lantern, Kyle could resurrect the dead, rewrite physical laws, and control raw life energy on a cosmic scale. He repaired broken realities, cleansed entire planets of death energy, and even helped stabilize the fragile fabric of the emotional spectrum. In New Guardians number 20, he single-handedly defeats beings like the Archangel Invictus and tames the chaotic entities behind each Lantern Corps. Other Lanterns burn out trying to control one emotion. Kyle balanced them all while holding the universe together. This wasn't a short power-up either. He kept this form for an extended run, becoming a key player in cosmic events and surviving threats that even Hal Jordan couldn't contain. Guardians called him an anomaly. Enemies called him a threat to balance itself. Most Lanterns live by a code. Kyle rewrote it. His will didn't just command the ring, it rewired the multiverse around him. In the end, the power became unstable, forcing Kyle to give it up before it consumed him. But during that time, he was the most complete Lantern in history, a being of balance, life, air, and near godhood. God of knowledge, Batman. Batman sat on the Mobius chair and became omniscient. In Justice League Darkseid War, Bruce Wayne claimed the power of a new god, unlocking instant, unlimited knowledge across time and space. He knew everything, every secret, every identity, every answer. First thing he did, asked the chair who killed his parents. Then he asked about the Joker, and the chair responded with 3 identities, shaking Batman to his core. He wasn't just smart anymore. He was connected to all knowledge in the multiverse. He patrolled Gotham by teleporting, solved crimes before they happened. He knew every lie in a room before a word was spoken. He even projected his will through time, manipulating events without leaving his seat. What made this version terrifying wasn't just the power, it was the detachment. Bruce started treating people like pieces on a board, guiding reality like a strategist with all the cheat codes unlocked. Hal Jordan begged him to give up the chair. Even the League knew this wasn't the same Batman. His God mode didn't last. The Mobius chair wasn't built for humans. Over time, it began to override his emotions, pushing him further from humanity. Eventually, he stepped down, by choice, before losing himself entirely. But in those moments, Batman held absolute truth in his mind. No riddles, no theories, just answers. Out of every version of the Dark Knight, this is the one who didn't need gadgets or prep time. He was the plan. True form Darkseid. You've never actually seen the real Darkseid, not in Justice League fights, not in crossover events. Those are just avatars, fragments of his essence scaled down to operate inside normal reality. The true form? It exists beyond time, outside space, and above the multiverse. In Final Crisis and the Multiversity, glimpses of the real Darkseid reveal a being who isn't just powerful. He's a cosmic constant. He doesn't enter universes, he infects them. When a sliver of him fell into Earth's orbit, it dragged reality down with it. Time fractured, space warped, even death broke. True form. Darkseid doesn't punch, he rewrites. He speaks anti-life into existence, a formula that removes free will from everything it touches. Gods collapse. Lanterns crumble. Martian Manhunter called his presence a black hole of identity. When he was killed, his fall poisoned reality. His death infected time itself. Even Superman at full power has only ever battled the lesser forms. Those were devastating enough to nearly wipe the League. This version? You don't fight him, you survive the idea of him. The only beings who've pushed back against true Darkseid are narrative-breaking entities like the Presence, the Source, or the combined force of the Monitor Brothers. He isn't just a villain, he's a built-in apocalypse. Every version of Darkseid fans know, from animation to comics, is a shadow. The true form sits above them all, watching, waiting, decaying everything. Raven as the unkindness. In DC's future state, Raven stops suppressing her dark side and becomes the unkindness, a multiversal extinction event wrapped in feathers and shadows. This isn't Raven boosted by magic. This is Raven after she absorbs her future self and merges with the four horsemen of the apocalypse. She doesn't feel. She erases feeling. The unkindness devours empathy, consumes souls, and ends timelines like swatting flies. Her presence alone warped reality across dimensions. She ripped through magical defenses like tissue paper, and no sorcerer, not even Constantine, could stop her rise. Trigon? Irrelevant. This version eclipsed her father's power entirely, turning him from a threat into a memory. The Teen Titans couldn't reach her, not emotionally, not physically. She wiped entire realities from existence before anyone knew what hit them. Inside her mind, it wasn't rage or revenge fueling her, it was emptiness, a total loss of connection to the world she once tried to save. Raven, the empath, became a cosmic void. Heroes tried to fight back with armies, magic, and alternate futures. It didn't matter. The unkindness shattered those timelines anyway. The only thing that slowed her was a multiversal reset, not a victory, just a cosmic system crash to wipe the board clean. This is Raven's darkest potential realized. Not possessed, not corrupted, evolved into something primal. Furnace, the burning Martian. J'onn J'onzz was always one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. Telepathy, shapeshifting, intangibility, super strength. But one thing kept him in check. Fire, a deep psychological fear hardwired into every Martian, until he broke it. In JLA, his mind snaps. He overcomes his fire phobia and unlocks his true original form. Furnace, a member of the long-extinct burning Martians. These weren't heroes. They were living infernos designed to conquer and consume. Once the fear was gone, so were the limits. Furnace ignited and leveled cities in minutes. He took down the entire Justice League solo. Flash couldn't touch him. Green Lantern couldn't hold him. Superman got cooked mid-fight. And this wasn't chaos. Furnace was calculated. A predator with full access to J'onn's mind, and none of his morality. He absorbed heat, used psychic blasts that melted minds, and regenerated through pure combustion. Batman's analysis? If left unchecked, Furnace would ignite the entire planet. Not metaphorically, literally. Earth's atmosphere was next on his menu. The League didn't beat him with force. They had to resurrect Plastic Man, the only being immune to Furnace's heat, just to survive the battle. This wasn't a powered-up Martian Manhunter. This was a species reboot, showing what the Martians used to be before fear was engineered into their DNA. Furnace appeared once, burned through everything, and nearly reset Earth. Then he vanished, locked away inside the mind of a hero too afraid to ever unleash him again. Witch-marked Wonder Woman. Diana was already a demigod, Amazon warrior, and diplomatic powerhouse. But during Justice League Dark, the Witching Hour, she became something else entirely, witch-marked. Chosen by the goddess Hecate, branded with chaos magic, and weaponized as a magical apocalypse. The mark wasn't a blessing. It was a ticking bomb, a magical payload hidden inside her since childhood, waiting for activation. When it finally erupted, Wonder Woman's powers surged beyond comprehension. She warped reality, manipulated divine energy, and even stood toe-to-toe with the Parliament of Trees and the Lords of Order. Her lasso didn't bind truth anymore. It bent fate. Her eyes glowed with raw arcane fury. Even Constantine said she was beyond containment. With the witch mark active, Diana burned through magical barriers, rewrote battlefield physics, and nearly unraveled the realm of magic itself. Zatanna, Swamp Thing, and the entire Justice League Dark struggled just to contain the fallout. Hecate planned to use Diana as a vessel to reset the magical hierarchy, wiping out gods and replacing them with chaos-born avatars. But Diana fought back. She didn't surrender to Hecate's control. She absorbed the power, redirected it, and severed the link, nearly destroying herself in the process. No version of Wonder Woman has ever been this dangerous. Not in strength, but in unpredictability. The witch-marked form didn't amplify her ideals. It challenged them, twisting her role as protector into a magical weapon of mass extinction. Once the witch mark faded, the damage didn't. The magical world still trembles at the memory of her transformation. Scarecrow Sinestro Corps. For years, Jonathan Crane studied fear, lived in it, weaponized it. But during Blackest Night, he didn't just wield fear, he became it. The Yellow Lantern ring, powered by pure terror, sought him out. And for a brief moment, Gotham's most disturbed mind got a cosmic upgrade. The instant Crane put it on, the transformation was immediate. His fear gas became irrelevant. Now, his very presence invoked crippling dread. He flew, summoned constructs made from nightmares, and struck with surgical brutality. Batman's rogues were terrifying. Scarecrow became fear incarnate, and here's the catch: he loved it. The power overwhelmed him not because he couldn't handle it, but because he'd waited his whole life for it. His obsession was finally rewarded with divine validation. Gotham trembled. Even Sinestro himself said Crane's mind was too dangerous to keep on the core full-time. It wasn't about destruction, it was about control. Scarecrow used the ring to study fear like a scientist in a lab. Except the lab was Earth, and the experiment was mass panic. He didn't lash out randomly, he savored every second. Batman, who once called Crane pathetic, admitted this version was a problem on a universal scale. The League couldn't ignore him. The ring gave him everything he ever wanted, and it terrified the universe more than his gas ever could. Eventually, the ring was taken back, not because he failed, but because he was too consumed by what it offered. Even the Sinestro Corps thought he'd gone too far. For one night, fear didn't just stalk Gotham, it ruled it, and Jonathan Crane was its chosen king. Emperor Joker. Joker got his hands on 99% of Mr. XYZPTLK's fifth-dimensional power and rewrote the universe like a joke book. In Emperor Joker, he didn't take over Gotham. He reshaped all of reality, with himself as God, Judge, and Punchline. He killed and resurrected Batman every single day for fun. He turned the Justice League into circus freaks. He made Earth his personal stage, swapping out physics, life, and death with whatever joke he thought up next. Superman, stripped of power and forced to watch the chaos unfold. The universe only survived because Joker got bored. That's the actual resolution. Even MXYZPTLK, the being who manipulates space-time with his name backward, admitted Joker's imagination, mixed with that level of power was unstable and dangerous beyond calculation. He didn't just kill gods, he rewrote their laws. He turned the Spectre into a laugh track, made Doomsday cry, and filled the afterlife with laugh gags and trapdoors. This version of Joker didn't just get more dangerous, he got more capable than ever before. The limits were gone. His insanity wasn't confined to murder sprees or chaotic plans, it was amplified into god-level improvisation. Everything he ever wanted, he had. And what he wanted was to remake the world as a twisted cartoon, forever. Eventually, Superman and MXYZPTLK teamed up to force a reset, stripping Joker of the power and erasing the damage. But for a terrifying window of time, Joker was untouchable, immortal, and in control of everything. God of Death Flash. Barry Allen didn't just outrun death, he became it. In Darkseid War, the Flash fused with the Black Racer, the physical embodiment of death in the DC Universe, transforming into the God of Death. It wasn't a symbolic title. The second they merged, Barry became a cosmic executioner. Every step he took ended a life. Every motion triggered a death sentence. When the Black Racer chose him as its new vessel, Barry didn't resist. He ran, and anything that couldn't keep up ceased to exist. This god form wasn't just speed plus death. Barry gained total awareness of dying events across the multiverse. He could sense where death needed to happen and deliver it with absolute precision. When Anti-Monitor and Darkseid clashed, Barry raced straight through them and ended the war in a single pass. He didn't just deliver death, he outran the Black Racer's former self, took control of the Force, and wielded it like a weapon. Even gods didn't escape. Even time couldn't hide. Heroes tried to bring him back, but for a moment, Barry embraced the role. He stopped being the hopeful heart of the Justice League and became its most efficient killer. The transformation didn't last. He eventually forced the Racer to separate, returning to normal. But no Flash, not Wally, not Jay, not even future versions ever came close to wielding power like this. So now that you've seen the most god-tier versions in DC history, here's the real question. If every one of these forms showed up in a single battle, no rules, no teams, who's walking out alive? And better yet, who's rewriting the universe afterward? Drop your answers in the comments section below.